Good, what's good, everybody? This is Cobb Alexander. We back. Shout out to everybody joining me on Facebook Live at Cobb Alexander. Don't forget, y'all can also tune into us on the Tuned In app at 90.1 KPFT HD2. Also on show1002.com. We live streaming from there. I told y'all we got ratchet earlier, and you know what I'm saying, it was a little wild, but now we about to button it up, and we about to get to some of these issues. We got Atum Ra in the building. What's going on, brother?
Yeah.
You
What's
know
good,
what
baby?
How you been?
Good? Oh man, I've been good, man. You know, too blessed to be stressed. Man.
I feel that, man. You've been everywhere. I've been seeing you.
Hey,
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, yo, man, this is one thing. You know, when you give love, you get it back.
For sure. So, you know what I'm saying? What's like, what have you been up to though? Like, what have you been? You know what I'm saying? What's been cooking up? What's been brewing?
Right. Well, you know, I'm always staying consistent with Melanated and Illuminated. You know what I'm saying? That's our platform. You know,
sure.
where we just giving truth. You know what I'm saying? Straight truth. You know what I'm saying? No chaser to the people.
Indeed.
You know what I'm saying? But through Melanated and Illuminated, I've come across some great partners, and we got a new radio station, a new internet station that's finna jump off.
Dope.
It's gonna be called Action One. We're actually doing our launch party this Sunday, but it's essentially a station that's geared towards millennials.
Okay.
You know, even though I'm on the older end of the millennials, I'm still,
you know
what I'm saying? I'm still a millennial.
I'm right in the groove. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and so you know, a lot of different platforms aren't allowing our artistry to create and innovate, and so we're just looking to make a space, you know what I'm saying, for local artists, local talent, music, painting, careers. You know, we looking to link up with other podcasts and radio partners, just to give our message and give our truth, and also, like I said, allow those spaces. That way, you know, for our artists don't have to jump through those loopholes in order to get to the people.
For sure. Like, what do you think? What do you think the holdup is as far as content goes? Because, like, when you know, even though you say you're on the back end of the millennials, like, technically, as far as like business wise and where everybody started, you're still extremely young.
Facts.
So, like, if we talk about the people who started the record labels and the music industry and the channels and stuff that we know today,
right?
All of those things started back in '92 with people who were the same age.
Right.
What do you think is the holdup, or what do you think are the hurdles that, you know, as millennials, as far as getting our content, what do you think? Like, what do you think that's attributed to?
Well, I mean, the main thing is there are no millennials that control any of the media outlets. I mean, this is the case that I make all the time. You know, even when people have issues with the artists and the different things that you hear. You know, they say, oh, the young boys ruining this and the young boys ruining that. But name a person under 25 that owns a record label. Name a person under 25 that owns a radio station.
Yeah.
So you got a whole bunch of 50-year-old so-called Jewish white men that are over here making decisions for what's popular and what's not within, you know what I'm saying, black culture.
Yeah.
And so that's, you know what I'm saying, the reason that we're seeing what we're seeing today. And, you know, anybody that's out there in the streets and with the people know that there's a variety of different artists that are out there.
Indeed.
And that's the main difference between, you know, what, you know, how the radio stations used to be versus now. You know, because when you look back, there was always Uncle Luke's and, you know what I'm saying? We always had that type of music, but they would give you an Uncle Luke and some Outkast. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can hear a variety of different forms of hip-hop and rap. Now they're just giving us, you know what I'm saying, this one type, and essentially the millennials don't control the culture. So
and then they there's so many young millennials that they don't even know that they're being programmed to like these certain type of things. And
it happens early.
Yeah, it does happen early. And I mean, so as far as, because, you know, I want to do the same thing, and I just want to do content, period. Like, it's not even just radio content, it's just all kind of content. Do you see yourself doing the same thing? Because, I mean, this is not something that I'm going to be doing by myself, or you going to be, it's going to take an effort from a lot of people to make sure that we get black faces. Because I want to do, like, for me, it's like I wanted to do, like, a Friends, like, I want to show black people just happy with no jobs, not working, just living life somewhere in some big city, chilling. You know what I'm saying? Because even though we know this may not be possible, but I mean, I guess it kind of is possible. It is whatever. Like, I just want to see like different shades, you know what I'm saying, the different complexities of black people in general. Absolutely. from all spectrums. So
absolutely, and we can do that, you know what I'm saying, when we're not controlled of, you know what I'm saying, subservient to certain standards, you know what I'm saying, given to us by mainstream society.
Yeah. But I mean, it's kind of, what is mainstream society? Like,
European culture.
But yes, it's kind of shifting though. It's kind of, we kind of control the dial as far as everything goes, especially with the internet, because it used to be you only had NBC, ABC.
Absolutely.
But then now with the internet, now with, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Melanated and Illuminated, things like that, those different outlets, it's like, oh, okay, like, so this is what's really going on. Because even on NBC, ABC, CBS, they looking to us anyway to figure out, like, where the pulse is and what's going on.
Absolutely. I mean, we always have been, you know what I'm saying, the innovators as it relates to culture, language, you know what I'm saying, the different things that go on. So now is the point in time you see through the internet, young brothers and sisters have found a way to monetize themselves.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the big thing. Like, we've always been, you know what I'm saying, whatever we say is hot, it's going to be hot. So. But at the same time, whatever we said was hot, we weren't the ones that were reaping the benefits monetarily. You know what I'm saying? There were others. Same way like hip-hop. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is.
That's really real. And they try to tell you hip-hop doesn't sell. But if hip-hop doesn't sell, then why is it a hip-hop? Why is it hip-hop production on a Coca-Cola commercial?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If it doesn't sell, like...
I mean, you look everywhere, everybody rapping, you know what I'm saying? All the cartoons and Disney.
It's weird to say, like, oh, well, hip-hop doesn't sell, or you know what I'm saying, or outside of these urban markets, it doesn't do well. But I'm like, we can't afford tickets to Bonnaroo.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
come on, man, we've been bootlegging CDs and tapes, you know what I'm saying, forever. So.
You know what I mean? So
yeah, no, artists have always got majority of their support from non-black America. Like, that's what it is.
So I mean, where did I mean, I guess I want to go back to the beginning. Like, where did all of this start for you? Like, where did you know what I'm saying? Where did you get your consciousness from? Where did you start your journey? Where did you, all of this, like the beginning, the roots of it?
Oh, man, well, I definitely got to give, you know what I'm saying, praises to my parents. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had a mom who always taught me to think. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I had a dad, you know what I'm saying, that always, like showed me how to tell the truth and to, you know what I'm saying, like, stand up straight. You know what I'm saying, and hold it down, like, be a real man.
Yeah.
And so, but, you know, just like everybody else, you know, I went through my trials and tribulations, and just you know what I'm saying, like,
trying to find your own way. You know
absolutely. I'm the person that I am today because of the mistakes that I made. Indeed. You know what I'm saying, as well. You know what I'm saying, the times in my life where I look back now and I made decisions that, you know, like the sister was talking about earlier, you know what I'm saying, decisions that were detrimental, you know what I'm saying, to women, you know what I'm saying, for my own selfish gain. You know what I'm saying, times to where, like, early on, you know, I became a dad early, you know what I'm saying, I wasn't handling my responsibilities, you know what I'm saying, and, you know, once you get that knock on the head and you start not only living in the moment, but looking down the road, because, you know, the reality is, like, growing up, like a lot of young black men, I didn't see myself living long, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you see yourself going out, you know what I'm saying, 20, 30, you know, like...
in the blaze of glory.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a reality. And so, once I kind of passed that threshold and I started looking down the line and realizing that I have a responsibility to the next generation, you know what I'm saying, and my legacy, and what's that's going to be, that kind of changed the perspective. And so it's like, you know, the things that you do, you know what I'm saying, you may not necessarily see a change within your lifetime, but, you know what I'm saying, I'm here to chip away, you know what I'm saying, at that block, and to make sure that my children have a better start than, you know what I'm saying, I had.
Something you mentioned you mentioned just now about, you know, behavior that's detrimental to women. And I've been talking to some of, you know what I'm saying, some of the men my age with the events that's been going on about with women, and, you know, especially melanated women.
Right.
I think we have to get back and formulate codes, and we have to start living by these codes.
Right.
One of the codes is whether you know her or not, if she's 10 feet from you, you are not responsible for her well-being.
Peace to that.
Just as a man.
Peace to that. Peace to that.
Just because whether it's because I've been seeing, like, I saw a video the other day with these guys in Oakland, and they hounding this woman, like, and they walking back and forth, and they talking, and like they're trying to holler, but it's like, and you could tell, like, it's some dudes uncomfortable with it.
Right.
Some dudes in the acting is just bystanders who just like hanging on.
Right.
We gotta weed all of those extra people out, and it gotta be somebody to be like, I am responsible as a man. I am responsible for the well-being of this woman.
Correct.
If I, it's okay if you want to holler.
Right.
Do that respectfully. You don't need to be loud. You don't need to be capping. You don't need to be doing none of that stuff. Just, hey, can I get a minute of your time? You know what I'm saying? Whisper over here. But all of that, like, hounding and chasing and trying to cap for the homies, and that's not, you know what I'm saying? That's not making her feel safe.
Right, most def. And like you said, just getting to the point to where, like, that's not cool. You know what I'm saying, at all. And I mean, we can just go back to the words that Malcolm said, you know what I'm saying, a long time ago about the most disrespected person being a black woman, and how we can't be respected as men until we stand up and protect our women and our children, you know what I'm saying, as well. Because, you know, like they say, you know what I'm saying, you raise a man, you raise an army, you raise a woman, you raise a nation.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the duty of our women, you know what I'm saying, to be the nurturers of the community. And it's our jobs to be the protectors of that. And that's something that we definitely, you know, a personal mission of mine, you know, when I'm going to the schools, talking to these boys at elementary, middle, high school. You know, shout out to the brothers at Melanated Men of Action, Real 101. You know, we do our rites of passage, and also the Blacklist Association. And, you know, with those organizations, you know, we really just try to touch these young men and boys. And one topic that we always have to cover is, you know what I'm saying, respecting our women. You know, like, how do you, and also conflict resolution. Yeah. You know, because that's another thing that's missing within our community between the black man and the black woman is proper conflict resolution when a situation does arise. Yeah. You know, too many of us react, you know what I'm saying, in an emotional manner versus in a logical manner. Yeah. And we either make
the mistakes are made, and now you're trying to cover up the mistakes, and now you didn't form the scar that probably won't ever heal. Facts. You know what I mean? Yeah. Facts. It's crazy. Like, and I just mentioned that because that's really been on my mind, and I'm really trying to figure out how to way to get young men to, because for me, I was never taught to disrespect women. Right. I wasn't taught how to respect the women. Though.
Right, most definitely, because it was cool.
It was like you know you had to have some type of manners, but it was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna just holler at two of them at the same time. Right. I'm gonna have them arguing in the hallway because that makes me feel cool. That you know what I'm saying, that caresses my ego.
Right, most definitely.
Like,
and that's what it is.
It's just ego driven for sure. Right. So, but that's something that's important. Like,
nah, man, and you're on the right path. You know what I'm saying. The first step to, you know what I'm saying, reaching a solution is to realize that something is wrong. Yeah. And so then, you know, once we realize, you know what I'm saying, the things that we're doing wrong within ourselves, then, you know, that's when we can realize and we can start working to help other young boys, you know, that's in the same position that we was in. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I got a lot of respect for you, man. We had some good talks, man, at the summit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying, that Sarge put on. Shout out to Sarge. And just, you know what I'm saying, you talking about your path and your journey. And man, I want you to just keep on that, brother. You know what I'm saying? I'm rooting for you, bro.
Like, all of this, like, I'm telling you, all of this is new to me. Yeah. Like, and I tell people all the time, like, I didn't wake up and say, like, oh, I just want to save the world. Right. It was a gradual thing. It was like, absolutely, it was just opening my eyes because I was blinded for so long and I was in the rat race. Right. You know what I'm saying? You just kind of shake that off and you're like, all right, look, how can I do better? Like, how can I, you know what I'm saying, make things better for my seed and their seeds and continue on. So, do you think, like, I mean, I know it may seem like it looks bad when you look at media and all of that. I don't think it's that bad. But I mean, as far as just people of color, do you think like we on the right path to gaining what we deserve? Like especially our platforms in media, how our stories are being told.
Right.
Like, do you think we headed in the right place with that?
Well, I mean, just as far as like survival, I mean, when you look at everything that melanated people throughout the diaspora, the Western Hemisphere, South America, Caribbeans, North America, when you look at everything that we've been through, the fact that we still here, we still creating, and we still innovating just shows our divine nature.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, as a people. And that nothing that our enemy is going to do or try to do is going to stop us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we've been at a point as a people to where they gave us the scraps and the worst of the worst, and we made pigs ass into a delicacy.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It's just because how we do it, you know what I'm saying?
Got folks lining up around the corner.
Somebody back in the day hyping it up, like, you know you're going to get this.
Yeah.
And so, fast forward to today, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't give us technology, you know what I'm saying? Like, any space we get in, we take over. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, period. You know what I'm saying?
Technology is crazy, especially that coding game. Yeah. You got shout out to, you know what I'm saying? You got boys like Nip who opening schools for the youngins just to learn coding, after school programs and stuff like that. Like, it's crazy.
Black people getting up on their cryptocurrency.
You know what I'm saying?
Get your crypto.
I think I bought, like, every paycheck I buy some Bitcoins. You know what I'm saying? I buy, you know what I mean? Because you're able to do that. I don't know if a lot of people know, you're able to buy cryptocurrency through Cash App.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, I got everything. I got some electronium. I got some, a little bit of Bitcoin, but I got like 5-6.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. You gotta. They opened up a can of worms with that one.
Diversify your bond.
For sure. Yeah. Like, I just, but I always say that, like, I always ask that question to everybody who's going into media, because, like, as a collective, we have to decide. We all may not agree, but we just all have to have we all have to be on the same page as far as like what stories are we gonna project. Right.
Well, we gotta have a code, like as it relates to behavior. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And just as it relates to, let's say, like any type of disagreements or anything else like that. Like we on code as far as it relates to the media. Now, me and you on text or whatever, you know what I'm saying? We can hash it out, you know what I'm saying? But like as far as it relates to like the media, like there's nobody that can get me to say anything negative against you, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna hurt you, you know what I'm saying? Like,
indeed. And then especially like I've been looking at places like the Shade Room, Baller Report, all of that stuff, all of those sites. They're starting to receive backlash, right? Because it used to be like, we're gonna put out any story, and now it's just like to the point like, well, like when are we gonna see the good part, like the good side of everything? Like y'all always posting the drama, and then now y'all so big, now when people on the outside of the culture, they say, oh, let's go see what's going on. We could go to the Shade Room. Right. It's trash on the Shade Room. Right. So now, you know what I'm saying, how are we supposed to, like, those are the type of things I feel like we gotta fix. And we gotta say, look, Shade Room, I know y'all like to post the filth. But TMZ, they don't post all of their filth. Right. They know what to post and what not to post. They keep it kosher over there. Yeah. So. Oh yeah, man. And we finna, you know what I'm saying, brothers like myself, you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, Chris, man, we finna shut them down anyway. You know, that's like now it's like the time to where like, I mean, you know us, man. We play fun and good with the media and the people, and you know we joke and everything like that. But like, as far as everything we do, like we serious. Like it's like for real, like takeover time. Like these people, like we finna run them out of the culture. Yeah. Like, and they not finna have a stronghold on the people like anymore. At all. Like at all. Like it stops now. So yeah, like I mean, what are you what are your influences to get in media? Where did that come from? Man, you know, it was always interesting because, like, growing up, my mom used to make me listen to conservative talk radio. It's crazy. It's like crazy, you know what I'm saying?
And like after like listening to it for so long, I was like, man, like why are you making us listen to this stuff? And she was like, well, in order to defeat your enemy, you got to know how they think. And you know, just listening to it, like, and then like when I started listening to it, I started seeing that they were really just like propaganda. You know what I'm saying, for their people. Yeah. And when you really start looking into the different personalities, some of them didn't even believe what they believed, but they had a duty, you know what I'm saying, to go out and give a specific message. And so, growing up, you know, I always had like an ability to like connect and talk with people and everything else like that, because I feel that it came partially from me always sitting at the feet of elders. You know what I'm saying? Like I always would sit with elders, you know what I'm saying, and just listen,
just soak up game.
Right. And so then, you know, when I go amongst my peers, you know what I'm saying, I'm giving game, you know what I'm saying, not even knowing, you know what I'm saying, just from, you know what I'm saying, listening. And so, you know, the more and more I just looked into it, I saw the psychology behind it, and I saw how our energy isn't being properly represented. So it's like you can either sit on the sideline and complain about it, or you can jump in the game and try to do something. And so, you know, I feel that I'm using the talents that the Most High, the universe, Allah, you know what I'm saying, gave me to give back to the people.
Indeed, indeed. Hey, shout out to AJ. She said, "What's up?"
Oh man, what's good? You know what's good? We in the place to be.
You know what I'm saying?
AJ
family. Representing Houston the right way. I hope I said that right. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What's good, sis?
So I mean, represent. Is there anything on television? Because I know I have a few. But is there anything on TV or in media right now that you feel like is representing the energy in the right way?
Oh man, I couldn't even say. I'd be lying, you know, because I don't really watch.
Like, it's a show. It's a show called Love Is.
Okay.
Love Is.
Yeah.
Like
I haven't seen it.
If you, it's really a love story.
Right.
But it's a very normal love story. Okay. It just happens to be with melanated people.
Okay.
But it also deals with like how we view love and how sometimes because of the way we've been brought up, how we can bring some toxic things into it.
Right.
And it's basically like this couple fights through that. Like it's different. Like it's a broke dude and a well-off woman.
Okay.
And they getting together and they coming together, and like this dude broke. Like he end up pushing his car to the front of her house just so it don't get towed. It end up getting towed, and it's craziness. You know what I'm saying? And like,
boys have been there.
And like he's like, even with his feelings about like it goes through his feelings of like, man, I don't feel like a man,
right?
Because I just pushed my car, and she just bought the third couch in 3 weeks. Designing her home that she owns. So it's like, I don't really, you know what I mean? It deals with all of that. And like that's,
okay.
You know what I'm saying? It's real dope. Like super dope.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I don't even watch that much TV, but I caught that.
But you know, he's a romantic.
Yeah, for sure.
But of course.
Yeah.
Hey, man, ain't nothing wrong with being a romantic, man.
You
know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm married, so you know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't nothing wrong with, you know what I'm saying?
Man, I just, you know, it was like, being a romantic, just as a dude, sometimes it's just like, yo, I'm gonna hide this. I'm gonna put this in my back pocket, like,
most of
you know what I mean. It's not one of the things you share, but like, I'm starting to be like, y'all should be romantics.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Man, you got to, man. Like, you got to, because, nowadays, man, these sisters got their stuff together, man.
Yeah.
And so, you know, brothers, we need to step our game up, man. You know what I'm saying?
Wildin'.
Yeah.
But, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go ahead and take a quick music break. I'm gonna get into this buddy. Hey, up there. And then we'll be back with more Out to Raw.
Yeah.